I'm going to tell you right now, you are boring them to tears. They're bored to tears because what they're hearing from you is what they're hearing from everybody else in sales. What I don't talk to in depth today is the mindset that you have to sell. Because there's a lot of stuff that goes on for all of us here. When things are busy, we assume it's going to keep being busy. And what do? We get lax on our business development activities. But then when the busyness goes away and we haven't done any business development activities, what tends to happen? There's nothing there. And we scramble, we're stressed out. So we're stressed out because we're busy, and we're stressed out because we got to drum up new business. Hey, anybody here ever got an email from somebody you didn't really know? You probably still read it, right? So they're still aware of you. You don't want to let that awareness go, because if you reach out to somebody and then you give up, what are you telling them? What's the message they take away from that? You don't matter. You're just a number in my book. I'm going through them and you're one of them. You didn't get back to me. That's why I'm not a fan of the whole, this will be the final time I try and reach out to you, right? Because what do you think when that happens? Good. I don't want to hear from you again. That's awesome. Thank you very much, right? So what I want you to consider is, if it's a prospect, they're qualified and they're living, that other one seems odd, but personal experience, right? Never let go of them. The question becomes, how do I nurture them long term? How do I stay in front of them without annoying them? Most sales professionals today let their calendar run them rather than they run their calendar, right? If you take a look at your calendar today, open it up. This is the one chance you have to open up your phones, scroll to your calendar, take a look at the week view, and I want you to identify how many things in your calendar are directly related to selling, directly related. So it's a prospect meeting, right? It's a follow-up with a prospect. It's a presentation to a prospect, or it's a meeting to close a proposal. The channels that you use today are based on your preference. The channels you use, the channels you choose to communicate on today, reaching out to somebody, a prospective customer, are the channels that you want to connect with them on, not necessarily the channels they want to connect with you on. What I want to talk to you about today, both now and in the workshop, is developing systems and processes and methods. Because in my experience, if you can apply a method and you create a habit around it, the confidence will come because the results will come. I say that one more time, so it's important. If you develop a habit, a process, and a method for doing things specifically tied to sales, you will achieve results. It might not always be perfect, but over time, as you make adjustments, those results will improve. And when you get the results, what does that create in you? Confidence. So what I'm going to focus a lot today on is the methods, the approaches, the methods, the processes that you can use. So I don't want you to think about more volume. I don't want you to think about automation. Is it a solution? Yes. But for our purpose today, I want you to think about something else, because ultimately, if that's the direction you're going to go, you're boring your prospect to tears. What you're doing is exactly what your competitors, if you have competitors, are doing. Because they're ramping up. They say, okay, I got to get in front of more people. I got to send out more emails. I copy paste, got to add automation. And the result is that customer is receiving the same stuff from you as them. Similar message, similar approach. Now, if you're approaching a prospective customer in the same way as your competitor, how would that customer make a decision on who they go to? I'm going to say that one more time. If you're going to approach a prospective customer and your outreach, your messaging, your language, the platform that you use to reach out is very similar to your competitors, if the customer is looking at those, how might they define who they speak to, who they follow up with? Could be flip a coin. Price. Think about it. We're all is the same. If you have to initially determine, well, who do I actually talk to, and everything looks the same, what are you going to do? You're going to say, well, who's got the better price? I'll start there. Do you agree? Yeah. So the risk for all of us is, if we act, behave, communicate in ways that are similar to our competition, we are putting ourselves in a price position where price is what matters, where price is a defining point. When a customer says something great, like, wow, this is a fantastic product that we bought from you, this service was great, we say, oh yeah, referral opportunity, here's a referral, and we say something like this, well, that's great. I really appreciate the positive feedback. May I ask, is there somebody else you know that might want one of these, right? So we're asking in such a vague way that what's the prospect, what's our client, what's our customer say? They say, well, yeah, I guess, sure, let me think about it. And that's it. Never hear from them again. I do my own surveys that are pretty simple. In a room like this full of salespeople, I say, take out your phone, look at your calendar next week in week view, and if you take a look at direct selling activities, those are the activities where you're talking to a customer. You're on a Zoom, you're in a face-to-face meeting, you're on a phone call, those are direct. Count up how many hours you're spending on that next week, and then subtract 40 hours or whatever your work week is. What's the percentage of time you're spending on direct selling? The average is 20%. That's a great example, because value is, hey, I found this information. I think you should at least know this. I'm not offering to sell you anything at this point. I just want to make you aware of it. And the obvious question they're going to say to you is, geez, do you know how I can fix this? Maybe. We actually specialize in this area. Now we have a conversation. So it really comes back to putting yourself in the shoes of your clients, what's important to them, and recognizing that when we're asking for their time, they're not necessarily just going to give it to us. We have to earn it. And we earn it by adding value. This approach is meant to get their attention. It's meant to differentiate you from the competition and ensure that they want to give you some time. Because if you don't take this approach, there's a chance that you're going to come off like everybody else, which they don't have time for.